Here at home, the Trump administration sending shockwaves through the federal workforce. Thousands of workers who handle everything from managing federal lands to caring for military veterans have been fired. At least 2,000 workers were let go from the Department of Energy, more than 1,000 from Veteran Affairs, and another 1,000 from the Centers for Disease Control. And the agency in charge of our nuclear stockpile had roughly 300 employees fired yesterday, only to be told just a short time later they weren't all being fired after all.
Scott Brown said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing: the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke.
Just say I was at all soybeans and $150 an acre loss. You're looking at $450,000 a loss. For just doing my job, I'm paying an additional $450,000 instead of making anything. I've never seen a crisis like this. Without intervention, we're talking about generational loss of farmers.
In the last year, farm bankruptcies here in Arkansas have nearly doubled. The story in the media is that's because of Trump's trade war with China.
And to further increase their profit margins, leading employers are pushing the limits even further. They parcel out hours and break up shifts. Germania's boss doesn't even try to hide it.
Yeah, we have benefits. Yeah, we have to. We offer health insurance, but you have to be like a full-timer to get it. That's number one.
So you think companies are using like more and more part-time jobs?
Yes, a lot of them. Yes, since we came out with this new health plan, yes, a lot of employment I hire in part-time so they don't have to pay for the benefits. We have a lot of competition out there, so they, but it's all up to, the politics,
In a recent CBS News poll, 2 out of 3 Americans told us they're stressed about their own finances. 3 out of 4 said their incomes are not keeping up with inflation. That's a lot of people struggling to make ends meet. And starting tonight in our series, The Cost of Living, you'll hear some of their stories in their own words. First, a single mother of 3, ages 1, 4, and 8, trying to make ends meet on a teacher's salary of $37,000.
Sweet, we're ready to rock. My name is Michelle Boisjoli. I am 37 years old. I am a teacher in St. Louis County, Minnesota. Since the price of eggs, bacon has gone up, we've done a lot more cereal. Eat it with your spoon. You gotta stay safe in the car, right? I've had to take on a second job just because everything has gotten so expensive. Hi, baby girl. I've been a teacher since about 2008. I love my brown shoes. I love my brown shoes. It's definitely not something that people go into for the money. They go into it because they love it, which is why so many of us do have to work 2 jobs to make ends meet. It takes multiple incomes to survive in this economy.
Today I'm talking directly to white Christian conservatives and poor MAGA voters. The very same people who are the backbone of the Donald Trump base. I have some real questions for you. Real questions, not gotcha questions, just questions about dignity, loyalty, and who's actually being taken care of in this country. So let's start here. Donald Trump recently floated the idea of trying to buy Greenland. Now, just as a normal land deal, no. People in this inner circle was talking about paying the folks in Greenland money. Now, let's be clear about this. This kind of economic offer is basically a hostile takeover just designed to make it easier to be swallowed. Money on the table.
White House officials are reportedly considering giving a lump sum payment to Greenlanders in an attempt to convince them to secede from Denmark and potentially join the United States.
According to Reuters, U.S. officials have discussed figures ranging from $10,000 to $100,000 per person.
All that for Greenlanders? Let's be specific for a second. Trump's own people have been talking about paying every single Greenlander somewhere between $10,000 and $100,000 in cold cash to get them to break away from Denmark and to line up with the United States. Meanwhile, is Trump offering you $100,000? Come on, I'm not trying to be funny, and let's forget about the whole reparations thing that Black Americans deserve for just 1 second. How does that make you white MAGA supporters feel? When Donald Trump says America first, you thought it meant white American first, but instead he betrays you and gives billions of dollars to other countries and offer cash payments to the residents of other nations to improve the colonizer brand and his ego.
President Trump is now looking to give Argentina a $40 billion bailout, but only if the far-right libertarian president wins the election on October 26th.
The people of Argentina have spoken, delivering a resounding victory for President Javier Milei and his far-right party. La Libertad Avanza sweeping the midterm elections, winning 78 seats combined, guaranteeing Milei veto power and shielding him from impeachments.
That's gotta hurt. So here's what I want to ask you, my white conservative and MAGA listeners who are struggling. Here's the questions. How does it feel to know that there is serious political energy for paying people in Greenland to make a deal go through, but not that same kind of energy for the poor white Americans who voted for him? And let's not act like that Denmark wouldn't get some sort of countless billions as well if this deal happened to go through. How does it feel to see the idea of cutting checks to Greenlanders and being treated as a serious strategy while your medical debt, your wages, and your towns are falling apart, barely register?
You know, there's this fake narrative that the Democrats talk about, affordability. They just say the word. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. They just say it.
Why is we can't afford is only said when money would fix your life, but not when it comes to his fantasy island deal in the Arctic. Because the message that Donald Trump is sending is loud, and African Americans have always known this. We've always known that money and incentives are possible, just not for you. And you're just getting a slight little tiny taste of it.
My name is Anthony Barlini. I'm a police officer in Waterbury, Connecticut. I'm 29 years old. I've been a police officer about a year. Let's go. But every day is a struggle for me too. If I still have to worry about my next paycheck, where my next meal is coming from, I'm just like anybody else out there.
My medication, it runs $20,000 a month without insurance. I make $800 a month. Oh, that will kill me. That would kill my friends. That would kill millions of people in this country if they lose their health care.
We're in California's District 22, a rural community in the state's Central Valley. This district voted for Trump for the first time in 2024, but now his policies threaten one of the benefits people here rely on the most.
It bothers me when people like Elon Musk say that people on those programs are the parasite class. It's just cruel.
Do you know anyone personally who voted for President Trump but depends on benefits like Medicaid?
Oh yeah. I know a lot of people.
Trump promised a lot of things. I thought it would be more family values and those programs that we really need here.
One of those promises was to protect Medicaid, which 67% of people in this district rely on. It's the largest percentage of any district in the entire country.
Now, Black people have heard this story for generations. When reparations come up, when the question is raised about centuries of unpaid labor, stolen land, and systematic exclusion, America suddenly remembers the national debt. Suddenly, it's too expensive, too divisive, too complicated. You and I both know that this country never says, we just don't have the money when it comes to a war, a tax cut for the wealthy, or a new overseas project, a coup, or some sort of takeover. Suddenly the money appears like magic. So think about the double standard here. For Black people, when we talk about America's unpaid debt, it's the "we can't afford it" narrative. When poor whites in the working poor category are struggling to pay the electric bill, rent, or need food stamps, you get shamed. But when Donald Trump is dreaming about Greenland, suddenly there's creative talk about paying people to accept a deal. So my question to poor white conservatives is, when they say we can't afford universal health care, debt relief, living wages, or major investment in your towns, do you still believe that?
My name is Olivia Marino Carlson. I'm 70 years old. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I cannot afford to retire. I live off of Social Security, which does not pay all my bills. That's why I'm looking for work. My husband was a mechanic. He developed MS. I took care of him until he passed away. I was working retail, lifting boxes. It was very hard. I'm going to the library to use the internet to look for work. I did not think that being 70 would be like this. I'm asking if there's any positions or work positions available here.
We don't have anything open right now, but keep an eye on it.
I put in an application here at Walgreens. I haven't heard back, so I'm going to check to see what's going on. They don't have an update on my application. The cost of food has gone up. Every time I blink, it goes up. I get better prices here.
Your total's gonna be $10.25?
This is where I have a Bible study.
We thank you so much for this evening.
Braden House is an apprentice electrician who last year voted for Trump.
I had heard people say if you vote for this, you're going to get what you voted for. But that's what people say every election.
A catastrophic wave of layoffs is hitting electricians in Maine. It may be a preview of hundreds of thousands of jobs that could be lost nationwide after President Trump and Republicans just repealed billions in clean energy investments.
It was like a light switch got opened, and all of our work just disappeared overnight.
We went to Maine, where a solar boom has already come to an abrupt halt.
I got laid off at the beginning of May. I haven't gotten any calls yet.
I'm on unemployment right now, and in the state of Maine, that's $595 per week, and I pay rent. That's $1,350 a month.
This has nothing to do with our local union or the companies around us bidding jobs. It solely comes down to what's happening in our federal government right now.
We came here to talk to electricians who voted for Trump to understand how are they thinking about his agenda now that it's costing them work.
Or are you starting to see that when they say we can't afford it only appears when what's on the table would actually help regular people? Black people, white people, and everyone else. The problem is whites in America have often never considered anyone else, and they don't consider the suffering of other people until it's them feeling the pain. Now, I want to talk about the loyalty and the betrayal, because this is blatant. See, y'all stood by Donald Trump through everything, all of his numerous scandals, indictments, chaos, even distancing yourselves from your Christian God to make excuses for him.
Mr. Brown, it's my understanding you also voted for President Trump.
Yes, sir.
Why did you vote for him?
Because I was an idiot.
Can you be more specific?
The 80% of the evangelical Christian people were lied to, if you really want to know the truth, and that's exactly what happened. They said criminal, and I believe criminals need to be off the street.
Because you felt that he saw you, he spoke to you, and hated the same elites that you hate. Never mind the fact that he was born in an elite class and will never see you as equals. Of course he hates black people and immigrants like you do. But there has to be some real tangibles for you to be involved with this. Otherwise, you're just a bunch of chumps getting played over emotionalism and hate. But look at the material reality. Did your wages go up enough to actually see serious change in your life under Donald Trump? Did your health care get cheaper? Are your towns getting more stable, more hopeful, more invested in? Compare that to the kind of boldness it will require to say something like, let's pay people in a foreign territory to make this land grab happen. Is that the art of the deal? So here's the hard question. If a politician is more willing to dream up money and incentives for a foreign land deal than for the people who put him in office, is that really your champion? Is that really your white champion? Is this your king?
I don't know if it's just me or what, but I was so excited for Trump to get back into office. For what? For what? I mean, prices are still bad. They're rising. Hell, everybody's struggling. I mean, wasn't you supposed to help us? Wasn't you supposed to? But he's not worried about us because, I mean, he's balling. He's rich. He ain't worried about it. So, I mean, I just don't understand. I went from supporting him to, what are you doing for us? Making America great again? No, you're making it shit.
I woke up watching news and finding out we are going to give Argentina a $20 billion bailout while we can't even have health care in this country, and we're falling apart, and our beautiful fucking orange wannabe god seems to think he needs a Nobel Peace Prize, which I don't understand because he's tearing our country apart.
Mr. Trump, I'm your supporter, but I gotta ask you this question because everybody's asking it. What the fuck are you doing giving $40 billion to your buddy in Argentina? And you haven't even given the Americans any money yet. I got stimulus checks from Obama and some from Clinton and some from Biden, and I got 2 of them from Bush 43. I ain't got nothing from you.
White pain is real. I mean, after all, rural hospitals are closing, factory jobs are gone, fentanyl taking white people out, emotional white men going crazy because they've always been told that they are so fantastic and they can't make it in a system that was literally designed to give them the edge over everyone else. I mean, whole towns are hollowed out. What this system does, and what politicians like Donald Trump are really good at, is directing your anger away from the people who actually made the decisions in the first place. Instead of asking, why are my wages trash while CEO pay explodes? Why is there money for foreign adventures, but not my kid's school? Instead, you're pushed to ask, who's stealing from me? Black people, immigrants, liberals? Meanwhile, the same very system that underpays and overpolice black folks underfunds your communities as well. Different histories, different wounds, but the same basic disregard.
So I live in Texas and I'm pregnant with my 3rd baby. And I am pro-life. I always have been. There is no greater gift on this earth than a child. But I am kind of freaking out right now. And I'm starting to regret the way I voted, the way I've been thinking, and honestly, I'm scared for my life.
All of my life, 50 years I've been here, I've never been harassed by Border Patrol on this side of the border like this. This is outrageous.
Why are we not allowed to be here? Because we're not white? Our skin doesn't match?
That's George Doylis. He and his wife are from Imperial Valley, and they love to camp. So when they were headed up to a dental specialist in North County on Wednesday, they decided to explore Jacumba and this area around Boulevard. They headed up this road to see if they could find a campsite, and that's when they say their day took a very different turn.
We didn't think anything of it. We're an American citizens. We're on U.S. soil. Why should we be afraid?
George and Esmeralda both voted for the first time in 2020 and again in 2024 for President Donald Trump. As they see his immigration crackdown, do you regret your vote?
Yes, I do. Very much so. I feel shame, guilt, and anger at the same time.
So when you hear about deals for Greenland or massive tax cuts for billionaires, but you're still stuck in a town with no good jobs, no safety net, ask yourself, who's winning? Because it's not poor white people in America that's winning.
I'm really not crazy. I really never knew this. I am 60 years old. And for the first time in my life, I am scared to death to live in this country. I want to take my family and leave. I can't afford passports, imagine. But anyway, please, if you agree with me, call your senators, protest, do whatever you can. But I don't understand why we're giving another country $20 billion when so many people are on the verge of losing health care, so many rural hospitals are on the verge of closing. When this ACA or whatever they want to call it, Obamacare ends, everybody's premiums are shooting up. Not just the poor people you think are on Obamacare, but everybody's, because the whole system's going to have to absorb this. The system's going to have to absorb people they can't afford it and have to go to the emergency room for treatment, and that's all they can get. So we're going to let our people just lay here and die because they can't get health care, but we're going to bail out other countries? I don't understand. Please, if you agree with me and you think something needs to be done, just call your senators and tell them, please. Thank you for listening to my whiny post.
How do we fix this country? How do we come back together?
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less.